Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to another episode of Cigars and Whiskey, the podcast that discusses love, relationships, sex, dating from a male's perspective. I'm your guy, Ron Coe, and I'm joined by my guys, White Star GB.
Who's shaking?
We also have super producer Corey Cool in the building, Cool University.
What up, though?
Big shout out to everyone tuned in on YouTube. Please remember to share so we can get more people to tap into the conversation. Tonight, we are drinking Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey. Right? And tonight's topic is going to be, we're doing
EQ.
EQ.
Myth. Fact or fiction? Like, you know what I mean?
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, emotional
Fact
intelligence. Yeah.
or fiction.
Yeah, because you don't believe in it. Like, you don't think it's a real thing.
No.
Okay.
No.
So we're going to try to
I'll
get
elaborate a little bit because I'm not turning a leaf, but I have a different thought process about it. But I really think it's like, it's fugazi.
Gotcha.
All right.
Almost there.
Yeah. All right. So White Star GB,
What's up, man?
how was your week, man?
Week was good, man. Week was good. This time of year is Groundhog Day. Like I said, I guess your 40s is just Groundhog Day. You just kind of do the same thing over and over again, and
What do you mean?
it just kind of feels like a little monotonous, you know.
So what you make it, man?
It's what you make it. But I had a thought that I wanted to bring to y'all. My friends with sons, would you be receptive to your son wanting to be a rapper?
Possibly.
Okay.
I'm kind of open. I'm open to a lot. And I think that as human beings, we should probably try as much stuff as we can.
Yeah.
Just even if it doesn't, we had a conversation prior to the show about bars of success and what success means, and doing things for the love of something or because you want to do it, or based on the barometer of success that the world puts out there.
Yeah.
So, hey, if he wants to rap, he could rap.
Go for it.
Go for it.
How about yourself, Cool?
I was hoping you would skip past me on this one.
Nope.
All right. So the question is, would I be okay with my son wanting to be a rapper?
Yeah.
I do think that there are plenty of other things that you could do and should do. So that's my initial thought process, which probably surprises a lot of people.
Like what though?
Fly a kite.
Focus on your school, focus on your education, focus on life, after the sexiness, as Ron Cole would say, right?
Yeah.
I would really love for my children to focus on those things. Reason being, not going to take too much time. I'll try to speed this up. Reason being is to be a successful musician, you have to have a certain level of an imagination that the average bear doesn't have. That's first. With obtaining that imagination, you can lose sight of a lot of things that you should be doing to maintain yourself in the average life, as regular life goes.
Okay.
If you realize, a lot of young artists, they don't have regular jobs. They expect the money and the things to fall out of the sky when they should be working to finance their way a lot of the time. So it's like a diluted reality to a sense.
Gotcha. I was kind of leaning more towards the side of like the like dangers of being a rapper.
No, we'll see. Well, like I said, to kind of finish my point, it would be more like, I feel in my heart of hearts that I do have a sense of what it would take to be a successful musician. especially as a rapper, not not a fucking instrument player.
All right.
And I do believe that I could put him in the place to be successful. I do have a decent understanding of the music business to where the thing about the dangers of it is usually you're somewhere you're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of the dangers come down to that part. So I wouldn't that the dangers of it is the last of my concerns as far as my son saying to me he wants to be a rapper. There's certain places I just wouldn't allow him to be. And if you are if you are a real successful upcoming musician, you're not even in those places. You're really working on your craft or traveling to places where the music is moving instead of stagnant places where you're gonna get yourself in some shit.
Right. All right. No, well, I was asking that coming off of the death of Little Ronnie, the rapper that died down in Texas, Fort Worth. Him and his 5-year-old daughter were gunned down.
Tragedy.
Yeah, at a car wash. So that's not really a wrong place, a wrong time. But
I think his ops
yeah,
told him not to come down to that.
but
car
I feel
wash.
like at this point in rap, you're gonna have ops any way you look at it. Like this is where rap is.
You don't have
No, I
don't
don't.
have
I don't believe that at all, bro.
Okay.
I believe that is a.
So with the highest level of rap being Drake and Kendrick have ops, like
You think
battle
that you
rap.
think that's a real like if they seen each other, it's like on site and it's
we
gunplay.
lived through Biggie and Pac. We lived through like
Biggie and Pac didn't shoot each other. Like they didn't,
Right.
but
they died because of each other. Well, they died because of Tupac, but
Well, I would say
decide
this.
that.
I would say this, right?
Yeah.
The dangers of being a successful musician is not op based.
rapper. Let's not do musician. You could play a trumpet and live forever.
Okay. Okay.
Right? We're talking about
Okay,
rappers
okay,
to be
okay,
out here,
okay.
to be in the places that rappers be, to say this kind of lines that rappers say with the bravado that they're gonna say it in, to know that rap beef is an accepted and commercialized part of the game,
Right.
and to catch any kind of traction, you're gonna kind of need like a little opposition here and there to really gain some traction.
Usually a successful rapper, it's well, it does not have to be that. A lot of the time it could be jealousy of a person not liking where you are in life.
That's usually what
when
an
you-
op is about.
No. Well, no.
Messing with a
No.
girl
No. But
they
see,
want to mess with, or you know,
if you are at a car wash, I live in my neighborhood.
right.
I go to my car wash all the time. Threats of my life at that car wash is probably because I said or did something personally to someone. I have a personal problem. Has nothing to do with the rap music. I have a personal problem.
Yeah.
So I do believe that that's two different things.
Then let's talk about too. Let's talk about if you do end up signing to somebody, now you inherit that person's beef.
But let me ask you a question.
Go on.
Are these niggas that rap, or are they rappers that just get? You know what I mean?
Every rapper
They
is a
on
nigga that rap.
No,
No.
are they on some nigga shit and then they
Outside for
rap
God.
also? And they was gonna beef regardless, or they if they wasn't rapping, would they be beefing in the street regardless with somebody?
Probably.
Or is it you understand what I mean?
Mm.
Or is the music really
Yeah.
exciting the beef? Inciting the beef.
If my son wanted to be a rapper, he would be so fucking busy, he would not have the time to have a personal altercation with somebody. He would be a working rapper, meaning when you're not in school, you are at a rehearsal studio, you are in the recording studio, you are writing your music, you or whatever the case is. Usually it's a lot of the outside shit that causes the issue. So if my son wanted to do that, he would probably quit rapping based on how hard I had him working.
Yeah, this is the thing, man. I think like
Traveling and shit.
Yeah, when it comes down to music, and especially rap music, it's not enough. just to have the music. You got to kind of have the soundtrack to the movie so you got to have a storyline going on that comes with the music now.
Yeah.
It's like having a movie and a soundtrack.
Yeah.
The movie is these two niggas beefing supposedly in real life, and they're ops, and he with this side, he with this side, but then the music comes out and it's like the soundtrack to the beef. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like,
yeah, I get it, but we're like
But
living in
but
some
that-
like imaginary world that like
but
we
that's
don't
publicity. Like it's I
thrive
think-
off of beef. Look at J. Cole. J. Cole was the most. He was the he was the highest pinnacle of like a safe rapper. You know, he was the guy that expressed his feelings, dressed bummy, whatever. He tried to engage with Cole. With Kendrick, fell back. His career is gonna take a real hit from that. Like,
you think so?
yeah. No one wants to see J. Cole right now.
I
He could drop
I
an
don't believe
album.
that.
You don't
I could
think
drop
if he
an
came-
album.
You
I
think
could.
if he came out with
he
a
could
dope
drop
record,
an album tonight, and it will come out to lackluster reviews. I feel like people are going to be dissecting his rhymes. Any rhyme where he's talking about any kind of bravado, I'm better than rappers, anything like he's going to be so dissected now that it's like, yo, anything that you say now that's going to be talking tough or deemed tough,
Well,
even if you're
let's
talking,
not,
No,
let's
no,
not
no.
act like
we're not even
like
gonna
he
do it
was on
anymore.
some like, come on.
No, he
You
was
can't-
on
you
some
don't-
I'm
let's
better
not-
than
let's-
you rhymes.
Either way, all right, that's speaking about the craft of the music, right?
Yeah.
That shit in Texas is different from a Cole.
Right, yeah,
Cole.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's what we
No,
can't-
it's the watered down commercialized version of it.
But wait,
as much as this whole situation with like Drake, sorry, cool,
Mhm.
and Kendrick and all that stuff like that goes on, it's kind of healthy in a sense. It's healthier, it's a competitive sport. It's competitive, right? So now what these niggas is doing, that's something different, bro. I think you just got wild niggas that rap. You know what I mean? That wild niggas that decided to rap.
Right. I also
Yeah.
I also want to kind of go on record to say that I think initially that is what the people thought about Cole. But as it began to manifest, I'm believing that Cole saw that it was a personal problem between two people. You dig what I'm saying? Like,
between two people, Ross and Future and
No,
Metro,
no.
every mad niggas jumped in.
but listen, remember, all of that ceased. All that ceased fire. You don't hear anything about anything with that from anybody other than those two people going back and forth. You know what I mean? I think maybe Cole took the first shot and was kind of like, oh, niggas is, trying to whatever. And I almost think he got a phone call. Something in my brain.
Cole let niggas jump his man. And he's gonna go down in his hip hop history.
I don't think everybody
to look
thinks
like that.
No. So history is shown, man. If you come out with good music, people forget.
We're gonna dissect he just came out
that,
with another
that new
song.
Drake record.
You think
that
people
new
are-
Drake record is fire.
and people it's cool.
Drake got a couple
no
new
kid,
records.
no
Talking
kid is doing well. No, listen.
No.
Okay, GB.
Cole just dropped the record and he had a line on it that he's lyrically better than other people, and people was like, you like we don't want to hear that from you. Freddie Gibbs already jumped off and was like, yo, listen, I'll take you on. Like he looking like food. He's out here looking like food.
Oh, GB, you killing
That's just
me.
me.
You're killing
That's
me,
just me.
Smalls. You're killing me,
I
Smalls.
don't know how we got here from there. Like I took us all on this ride
Yes, you
all over the
did.
place.
Yes,
but
you did.
I'm trying to just make the correlation that Kendrick beefing with Drake at the Super Bowl is contributing to the ground level rappers still finding it lucrative to beef with each other. If you're beefing at the highest level, you're beefing at the lowest level, it'll be obnoxious of us to not see the correlation.
I feel like that's the new marketing plan for a lot of rappers. Instead of rolling out promo to say that your album's coming out, if you got beef with somebody, I think that's how the industry is now. It's like, who are your ops?
Jim
Jim and
Jones
Cam,
just rolled
right?
out.
I know you're gonna say that. I knew you. I
Jim
knew you were
Jones
going
just
there.
rolled out his new record.
I knew you were going there. I knew
Yo,
you were
I
going
really
there.
feel like that's the marketing plan. That's the publicity for whatever music they have coming out. Whatever they got going on. It works for everybody at this point.
So I ask you, your sons, they get a meeting at a major record label, and that white man sits across from y'all at that meeting and be like, "Who are your ops?"
Who was Little Ronnie signed to?
I can't call it. I don't know.
Nobody. I don't think.
I don't think he
was affiliated with a certain clique that was beefing with another clique.
Either way, I think there's a difference between these beefs, and I think, all right, I hate to say it because it's like, all right, he could be dope in his own right. He could be dope in whatever in Texas and the South and all that other good shit, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's a different level of, like I'm first of all, like me as a father, if I did have my son in the music business, like, nigga, you're not signing to no nigga that's you're not signing to a gang or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not signing.
That's what I'm saying.
To roll with a gang.
So when he's 21, what can you guys? You could really choose what
the
he
life
says
I
and what he
provide
wants
for my
to do?
son. He's not going to want to fucking be around a bunch of gang niggas.
If he started rapping at 15, 16, you took him around, and he earned his craft and everything like that. Let's just say like a young dog.
Where Flow Rider at? Flow Rider, where you at? Sign
Dried up records. You gonna let him sign the dried up records? All right.
No, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I do feel like
the bag.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe GB. You might have a point there, but I just will say, if asking me if my son wanted to be a rapper, like I said, I would do my best to try to point him in some other direction, just because I know music in general, you can work as hard as you want. You can put as many hours as you want in the studio. That does not manifest in musical success. It's a whole lot of other things that come into play with it. And I would, but if he decided to, and I couldn't sway him, he would be so busy that he probably wouldn't have time.
Busy doing what? Like busy like what? Like busy like what do you mean? Like clinics or like what? Like getting nice? Like
so
in the cafeteria?
No, man. Listen, you're in school. You're in school Monday through Friday.
Right.
Once Friday night comes, I'm throwing you in the car.
Right.
And we're gonna drive the whole entire East Coast going up. Each weekend, we're gonna pick a different city. We're gonna go there. We're gonna pull your phone out. We're gonna do some viral things. We're gonna go to the best restaurant that's there. We're gonna eat. We're gonna talk shit. We're gonna build content around that. Come back home. As we go all the way up to fucking Maine, we're gonna go all the way down to Florida.
Going to King Von's grave. You're not going to.
No, we're gonna. No, we're just
okay.
because like I said,
that's what's viral now.
When you ain't got no money, when you broke and you trying to fucking make some shit pop, you got to do shit like that.
Yeah.
If you got a marketing budget or something, you got some money to spend
and a plan and a fucking plan.
A marketing budget with money, you could show a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
If you don't have no money, you gotta kind of curate it yourself, and you gotta create ops and beefs or whatever, and that creates the momentum around your music.
Home with that first face tattoo. It's like, everybody got it, Dad. Everybody got. That's what everybody's doing. Ain't nothing.
That I might have to accept it.
DAD right here.
It's
for you.
I might have to accept that. I just might have to accept that because I would kind of understand it.
Got you.
My daughter will be the first one to want to rap anyway. My daughter will be trying to write rhymes.
Would you let your daughter?
No. Because they'll have her.
My daughter wants to be in show business.
Have to be ass out and everything like that. It damn near have an OnlyFans. To be a female rapper now, you got to show your whole ass and pussy, everything. Look at the little girl Doke. She naked every time we see her little black ass. Like
Who's that?
They're full.
The Grammy winner. Grammy winner.
That's the
forcing
one.
her.
That's the one.
They're forcing the little black one, the little with the
Stop,
braids.
Why you
stop
keep saying
that.
I don't know. 'Cause she's annoying now.
She tells a
Every
story
time
about
it's
the
out.
guy.
The little fat rap, and then every time it's like, yo, I'm gonna rhyme fast. Oh, here's my ass. Oh, I'm like, yo,
didn't she say she don't deal with men though, right?
we just know too much and don't care enough. It's just like that's a whole nother bag of tricks. Like you ain't gonna die, but that's a whole nother. Like everybody's gonna see your whole ass. You know.
Hey, that's the industry.
That's
so
the
it's
industry.
bad. It's bad for men.
You gotta have a body worth showing.
I would say no.
Okay.
My daughter will be in the gym. You gotta get in the gym, get your ass in the gym. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Listen, that's the thing about show business, man. Certain things you gotta accept. You know what I mean? To be a part of the puzzle. And the other part is, a good plan, but it doesn't have to be all showing your ass. That might have just been that person's way of getting out.
It doesn't even matter how talented you are. We want to see your ass.
Well, I do think it's some level of talent. I think talent is still involved.
I guess.
I do think so.
Show it to me.
Hopefully none of our kids want to do rap music. It'll be mine over everybody's children. I'll be back here to tell you how it went when I'm done. Ronco, how the hell is your fucking week? Leave GB where he's at right now.
My week was kind of cool. I was trying to fast a little bit, not all the way.
Well, inshallah type shit. You know what I mean?
It wasn't anything religious. I don't know why.
Ramadan vibes.
What's crazy is that I didn't know Ramadan was going on.
Yeah, man.
My daughter, she wanted to fast also.
Oh, because of the,
yeah. But
does she have Muslim friends?
Yeah, she does have them. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. One of her good friends is Muslim.
Okay.
And she wanted to try it, so she might have did it for like a day or two.
It's tough. It's tough work.
Yeah,
what does that consist of? Like you just can't
So eat from like 7 to 7 or
from sun up to sundown.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And I didn't for the first like 3 days until we Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I really didn't eating for like 2-3 days. I was just drinking water, coffee.
Oh wow.
And
which would not be acceptable in the situation, remember?
Yeah, you can't do anything.
None of that shit.
Yeah, you can't do anything else.
Oh, you can't even have water?
No.
Nope.
Nothing at all. And then I think Tuesday I might have ate some vegetables. And I started eating just vegetables or salad, smoothies, and that's it. And I was going through the whole week.
A little hamster plate.
Yeah. So, but you know what? What's crazy is that I don't know if I didn't really like the way my body felt, but I don't know if it's part of the process of getting certain things out of your system.
Nigga, you about to walk in that nigga for like Thriller.
Not for nothing. It wasn't even really that. It wasn't even really that. Like I wasn't zoned out, but it was more or less like let me run my car with no gas. Why am I on the side of Southern State?
Well, no. We'll see what they do with a lot of okay, it's funny you say that because I spoke to a coworker of mine who is Muslim, and the way they do it is they wake up a little earlier, so they have their breakfast at like 5 something. So they eat at 5 something before the sun rises, and then they don't do any, they don't eat again until way late night. But it's that whole day that they go.
I could do that easy. See, we were talking about integrity. They're lucky they ain't let me into that religion, because I could have the cheeseburger IVs on the side. They ain't saying nothing about no IVs, right?
Intravenous burgers.
What you want? Pizza? What you want? I'm gonna get you right. You know what I mean? Like something. But yeah, it's got to be good for like it's good for discipline,
right? It's supposed to get you closer to God.
Yeah, because you're dying.
More or less for me, it wasn't about that. It wasn't a religious thing. It was, I always just try to test my discipline here or there. And I got a lot of body aches, and at certain times I wasn't like the way my stomach was feeling, but I'm like, oh, all right, is it the fact that my body's getting used to not having it, or would I always feel like this, but I haven't done it enough because today I actually ate.
Oh, okay.
I ate something.
All right.
I ate a salad earlier, and I had Chipotle for dinner. So,
Nice.
yeah, but it was cool.
You tried it.
I think I may do it on a more of a regular basis though.
That's nice.
Yeah.
that's
You know, just even eating cleaner and probably just sometimes doing just liquids.
Mhm.
I was doing fresh juices and water and coffee. That was it.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was that, man.
I'm gonna give it a shot sometime. I'm gonna,
Yeah, man. Summertime's coming up too. Maybe I could drop a couple pounds, something like that. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah, I'll see what happens.
LB fan.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to everyone tuned in on YouTube. Again, please remember to share so we can get more people to tap into the conversation. Tonight's bottle, Woodinville Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This one is actually produced in the state of Washington. All right. Straight bourbon whiskey, small batch. What do they say in the notes are? Truly small batch bourbon starts with traditionally grown corn, rye, malted barley, of course. Distilled and trucked backed over the Cascade Mountains to private barrel houses where central Washington's extreme temperature cycles promote the extraction of natural flavors from the oak.
Yeah.
Prior to being coppered, the barrel wood is seasoned to open air, rain, wind, sun, and snow for 18 months, softening the wood's harsh tannins. The barrels are then slowly toasted and heavily charred to further enrich the wood's desirable flavors. This meticulous process yet yields a truly handcrafted spirit with aromas of creme brulee, spiced cabinet, as well as notes of rich caramel, dark chocolate, and vanilla bean on the palate with a sweet, lingering finish. I like this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like this
feel
one
like I
so
get
far.
all of that. I almost get everything they said. Yeah.
It's cool, but it's very different from everything else. So it's not like a bourbon. It's nothing like Kentucky. It doesn't taste like anything from New York.
Heavy too.
It's a little bit like the Canada stuff, maybe a little bit, but then California got their stuff, and it doesn't really taste like that either.
Yeah,
this kind of got its own profile.
Yeah,
maybe because some of the charring and
it's grown corn and
like
rye.
The snow thing they, what you're talking about,
Because Canadians rye whiskey, a little bit of spice, but you do get that vanilla, caramel.
Yeah.
You get all that, man.
But it's not like a sweetness to it. Like it's not too sweet.
Yeah, it
tastes like you're drinking like some
Yeah. All right, so
it's cool though. It's nice.
Yeah. So far, so good, man. So, Woodinville Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This one is 45 ABV, 90 proof. I think this runs maybe about $45 for a 750 ml. We'll let it marinate, and we'll come back to you guys and let you know how it fares. All right.
Small critique. This is my least favorite bottle, style.
Really?
Like the little medicine bottle style. This is my least favorite. I like the wine bottle style.
Really?
Better, yeah.
Like the Penelope.
Penelope, yeah. But this is I don't know. It's never really been aesthetically pleasing to me. So.
I just feel like
it's just small.
They, like Bib Tucker, them. It's like that medicine bottle type of the old school medicine bottle.
Deacon. We did Deacon last. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bronze.
Yeah.
The little medicine bottle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how they like doing them like that.
Yeah,
man.
everybody got their own critique. Yeah, everybody got their own flavor.
I think it's cool. But I hear you. Everybody has their own preferences, man. All right, so let's jump right into the show, man. We're not running clips tonight, right?
No, we just don't kick it.
All right, so tonight's conversation: emotional intelligence, real or myth? All right. Maybe I'll just follow, your lead, and you want to, kind of preface this as, how.
Well, all right. So let's just start with a definition. What's your loose definition of emotional intelligence?
Well, like I said on the previous show, I just feel like emotional intelligence is just a name. This is what they do in the 2020s. They take something that's been going on for a very, very long time, and they give it a name. They give it a a buzzword and then it becomes popular because of social
You said
media
two
and
things.
things
The
like
difference between a name and a buzzword. A name is just just to categorize it. A buzzword is to kind of popularize it and make it like.
that. I think it could be. I think it could be both.
Okay.
They give it a name and then they make it. It becomes on social media. Then it becomes the. I don't know if they send people out there to promote the word and just promote the whatever like the behavior or whatever to make it popular.
Yeah.
Like, all right, this is the buzzword. This is what we're talking about because it normally it'll trend on social media and things like that, right?
But once something is like learned and people are bringing it to the masses, like I felt like the word accountability was something like that too. That was kind of brought to the masses and became popular on social media. But it's a good word. Like it's it's healthy to learn in the group, right? Like, isn't it cool? Like,
Yeah,
everybody's learning together.
We act as if like people, like accountability wasn't something that people possibly struggled with forever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are probably people from 100 years ago that just weren't accountable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like,
but we used to always be like, he could never say when he wrong, but now you got a word for it.
yeah, the word accountability was there before, but
Right.
people just didn't. They made it into like it was the buzzword for the time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And now, emotional intelligence, it was a phrase. I think it was a phrase that was not out there, and I think it's mainly used for men, right? And it's basic. I feel like we live in a society where it's a much more fluid society, and you have men, you have women, you have gay men, you have gay women, you have bisexual, all different types of people, alternatives. You know what I mean? And it's like at this point, you kind of even as a man, a straight man, you kind of gotta be a little more fluid, right? And not saying sexually or anything like that. I mean, like, as far as you can't just be a stoic, regular, masculine idea of what a man used to be. Because in the 2020s, the idea of what a man should be, right, is one that has the attributes as far as like looks and success and things like that, but also let's add another layer onto it that can get in touch with his emotions and can express his emotions, and he can understand other people and things like that, right? And I think a lot of these things that come about, they're ideas and they're great, right? It's like creating the best character in the world, right? You're creating a superhero for a movie, for a Marvel movie, right? The guy, he fights crime, he's a billionaire, he's good looking, and he's emotionally intelligent. Like, he has everything going for himself, right? And back in the day, as a man, as long as you kind of took care of your family, you provided for them, you protected them, that was good enough as a man. Now, that's just not enough these days. So, and I feel like men back then were a lot more like homophobic, and they didn't agree with certain other lifestyles and the way the world was. And now it's like men put their stamp on the world, and they made how the world was, and now they're getting a lot of pushback. And if they are that way, they look crazy.
I'm sorry, I asked you. I'm sorry. So you're saying being emotionally intelligent is being a little gay?
I think the idea of a man being in touch with his feelings and stuff like that, I think that comes from that. Because realistically, women don't want that, bro.
No, you could be in touch with your feelings and not project them. Like, stoicism is a tenet of emotional intelligence. Like, knowing when to be strong for your family.
Okay.
and be stoic is a tenet. Knowing when to speak up and ask what's wrong and just listening is a tenet. Knowing when to hold yourself accountable, knowing when to stand in front of your family and be like, I messed up, or you took the wrong way to the supermarket or whatever. Like your wife told you to go one way, you went the other way, and y'all got lost or whatever. And just sitting in the car and be like, yo, you know what? My bad. I messed up. That's emotional intelligence. It's not. It really doesn't have to be with
That's emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that's just being
accountable.
That's a tenet of emotional intelligence. Being accountable is being emotional intelligence is having an EQ as opposed to having an IQ. An IQ measures.
This guy doing his research on it.
I'm just saying, we potted, right? If we
all
potted,
on the
we
internet.
Potted. You damn
all
right.
on the internet. None of this shit is in books yet. It's all on the internet.
Like we live it. We live it, bro. Like, yo, all right. Let me just give you an anecdote, right?
Mm-hmm.
When your daughter is of age, right, and she goes on a date with a man, and he picks her up, and they go on a car ride, and they come home, and you asked her how it went, and you were like, and she's like, yo, he had like a lot of road rage, like he yelled at a lot of people on the road. Would that be like a red flag?
Yes,
because he has low emotional intelligence, right? That's a barometer. That's a red flag because his emotional intelligence is wrong. He's easily triggered, right? So you could just by that little snapshot of his personality, you can kind of gain a bigger picture of somebody, So if somebody can't really see the error of their ways, if someone can't apologize, if someone can't do certain things, if someone can't open up at all about any of their emotions,
I think a lot of this stuff can be described in different ways. But I think
if emotional
intelligence kind of they found a word to kind of try to encompass everything.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But if from the example that you gave, road rage and somebody that just has a bad disposition or is just angry.
Yeah.
They're just angry. They're an angry person. You know what I mean? Like,
well, if you're easily triggered by nominal tasks.
Well, the thing is, if we're saying emotional intelligence is somebody that are you not emotionally intelligent if you wear your feelings on your sleeve?
Yeah, you are not emotionally intelligent if you wear your feelings on your sleeve.
I thought you're supposed to be expressive.
You're not supposed to be expressive. You're supposed to be.
You're not supposed to be expressive with emotional intelligence.
No, you're not supposed to be overly expressive. You can express it in a certain manner at a certain time, but you're not supposed to go like there's this whole thing that like you said it, like it's mainly judged on men. Women are held to the same standard because when women go, there's this whole thing that when we go to like a restaurant, right, and we don't get our order right, we'll just sit with it, right? Isn't it like a whole thing that our wives will kind of speak up for us and tell the waiter that we don't like a certain thing and to bring it back? We'll just kind of deal with it. Like it's the me thing, or that's like every guy thing?
I think a lot of dudes.
That's across the board, right? That's us not wanting to make a scene in a public place or in a restaurant or to seem too problematic,
Okay.
And that's part of emotional intelligence.
Bro. See, this is why it's so confusing, and I think it's I just don't think it's real, right? Because do you have any problem expressing when something good happens?
Expressing? What do you mean?
Like, is it a good feeling?
Yeah, either I'll laugh or I'll cry. Maybe like I cry when I'm happy, and I laugh when I'm happy.
And what do you do when there's something negative happening?
I'll usually something negative happening. I'll usually bottle it up and try to internalize it, and then try to bring it to the world when I'm ready for it.
Okay.
I'm not the person that would get bad news and I'm automatically
so
talking to everybody
on the
about it.
positive side, you got emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll let it out, you'll let it be known. But you have no emotional intelligence when the negative side is there.
Well, no, well, all right. Let's do this little anecdote this week since we're talking about it. I won an award this week, right?
Congrats! Yeah, he did.
Thank you at a little meeting, you know.
A big meeting, actually.
I kind of didn't tell anybody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't tell my mom. I told my wife, and then I told my daughter, but I didn't really tell anybody else because it felt like, it's just work.
But you told somebody.
Yeah,
it's not like like I get it. You
but
don't
I'm
want
not like on social media, like take it, you know what I mean, doing all crazy. So I think the same tenets of stoicism that you don't get too high, you don't get too low. You kind of want to live somewhere in the middle. I'm talking about when you're saying that, I told millions of people just now. Y'all could clap if y'all want, but it's kind of like you internalize it until you're ready to bring it out to the world with everybody,
Okay. But the thing is, I think as men, we kind of react to what the world gives us, right?
Yeah.
We can kind of feel out what they're feeling, right? Nobody wants to hear a man air out his grievances.
Exactly.
They don't want to hear that. So this is why I'm saying, like, all this, I feel like is a real, like, sort of Jedi mind trick. It's all bullshit, right? Because it gives a reason for women to have like something negative to have about men. Because usually, right, we don't say a woman that's overly problematic or emotional or always got a problem with some shit. We don't say she's not emotionally intelligent. She's not.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. Most people don't. We don't use that.
Women, we use
when we talk about emotional intelligence and people having lack of it.
Yeah,
I would say the majority that they put in that box are men.
Oh, so that's why you don't care for it. You think it's a way to just pigeonhole men, but it's really not. It's across the board. I feel like men, women alike. Now it is on a scale. I do that. I do feel like women are given the grace to be more emotional. You know what I mean? Because of different hormones in their body that we learn how women's body work, and we just give them that. They're allowed to be more. So it is definitely judged on a scale. You know what I mean? Like we definitely give them a little grace on it, but there are definitely emotional, unintelligent women.
Tell me, give me an example.
Same restaurant situation, same thing with the car, with the guy with the driving the car. If a woman goes to the restaurant and she's just spazzing on the waiter because everything is no good, or she doesn't like the way things stay, or she's making a scene out of public, those are signs of somebody with poor emotional intelligence.
So give me an example of a woman that does have emotional intelligence. Is she stoic?
She's not stoic, but she could speak up for herself and be eloquent, but keep a baseline of decorum. I think that we could just keep, some kind of.
Because I haven't heard that. I haven't.
No, come on, it's a human thing. It's the same way with IQ.
No, it should be
EQ. EQ, emotional intelligence, is across the board, men and women. Maybe we're talking about it because we're a men-based podcast. You know what I mean? It's two of us, but we hold women to that same. Listen, the women, I have women in my life that if they ask me something, you know what I mean, I'm gonna keep it straight with them. I'm gonna tell them like, yo, listen, don't pick fights. Like, don't pick arguments. Like, nagging is a
trait of a woman.
But with low emotional intelligence.
I just think women nag.
But you got to learn how to turn it off sometimes. You got to learn, like, yo, okay, he's hearing my voice a little too much. Like, it's ineffective. There's a point where my voice is ineffective. And if you don't know that, then it's like.
Yeah.
It's across the board, bro.
Maybe I'm not running across the platforms that discuss women.
No, it's not
right?
about platforms. It's like lived. You've lived? You know,
No,
like
I
some people pick fights. Women pick some women pick fights, right? Pick arguments.
women pick fights.
Not all the time.
Not all the time,
Right.
but most women pick fights.
Okay.
You saying like there's a group of women that don't really pick fights like that. Women pick fights, like in general, I'm speaking generally. They'll pick fights. I'm not saying some women may pick fights more than others, but that's a tactic that a woman does. Normally when maybe she needs some attention or whatever the case may be, right? And we're not calling all women we're not saying all women don't have emotional intelligence.
No.
A lot of the times this is what I'm trying to say. We're using this phrase. It's mainly for men. And I feel like it's a tactic. It's a term that is trying to get men more on that. All right, stop being so masculine. You can let your guard down. You can be a little softer, and you could just be a little bit open and be a little more receive your woman, right? And I think it's mainly for men and women, right? And I think that I don't know, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? You got women that want us to be a little more understanding to them. And if they have their grievances, so you're more open to receiving them. You're not stonewalling them. And it's like, all right, I'm a woman. I'm complaining about you, but now you're not beefing back. Now you're just taking it and you're listening to me and you're understanding that, yeah, I'm complaining, but you're taking my complaints and you're not arguing back with me. Right. So I think that's a part of it. But a lot of
you are just. I feel like you're just lasering in on like one, like little ridge of it. It is encompassing everything for men and women. It's men and men relationships, not sexual, but I'm talking about.
I don't hear. That's what I'm saying. I don't hear. That's what I don't hear talking about.
The first thing I asked you was about road rage. Like learning how to let things go, learning how to let minor interactions go, learning how to let someone stepping on your shoe go. Like everything is not a huge problem. Most people suffer from low emotional intelligence when they're younger, and they gain it the older they get, the more experience they get, the more life they live, the more they see people aren't purposely doing things to them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's a lot of things like the term crash out. Like if we really want to say that, that's a person with low emotional intelligence.
All right. No. Can I ask you this
because
though?
That person is crashing out because he can't handle, what life is bringing them, and he's just flying off the handle. Shoot.
And I'm just throwing something out there, right? So when they say dudes that react, crashing out, this, that, and the third, what do they say about those men?
What do they say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who they raised by? Who they normally raised by?
Yeah. Okay.
Who they raised by? Tell me.
They're raised by single mothers.
But they're not. We don't talk about the women. Now they raise unemotionally intelligent men, right? But they're not.
Ron.
They don't get that. They don't get that.
What we saying.
They don't get put in that box though.
They do. I told you that we give women a certain amount of grace. Women are allowed to operate with a lower emotional intelligence than men are because we give them that grace because we understand different hormones, different things. So if there's no man, if you're a man with strength and everything like that, and you're raised by someone with low emotional intelligence, that's when you get. That's why we say those things. Like that's the math. You know what I mean? That's why we're saying these kind of people kind of like are more prone to crashing out if they don't have a strong man figure in their life to teach them the benefits of stoicism, of everything ain't about you. Like it could just be an accident. Like you're not always aggrieved. Like you don't always have to keep it real. Like you don't always have to
What's the baseline now?
the baseline.
Like okay, so because from what I'm hearing, I'm trying to understand. I'm gonna try to understand. I'm not gonna let me stop debating, and I'm gonna try to understand. Right.
Okay. All right.
Because from what I'm saying, what I'm seeing is that a man has a certain amount of characteristics, right?
Yeah.
The woman has the same characteristics,
Yeah.
or maybe slightly more than that man.
Yeah.
But they got similar characteristics.
Yeah.
The man is he's not emotionally intelligent, but nothing about the woman, right? So where's the baseline
men are supposed to operate on a 60%, and then women maybe like on a 40. The baseline is self-preservation. Don't let anybody push you over. Like, don't let anybody take advantage of you. You know what I mean? You can digress, you can de-escalate, you can do things, but you should protect yourself. I think that's the very baseline. All right. When it becomes to a point where it's like, I have to fight for my life, or I have to fight, or I have to escalate this situation to get myself safely out of this situation, then it's called for to escalate certain situations. Physically, intelligently, anything. You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to fly off the handle whenever. I feel like you're supposed to de-escalate first, but
how do you do that? Because this is what I think a lot of platforms do.
Yeah.
They'll just, you know what? We're just gonna focus on men, right? Because I feel like it's focused on men, but
I'm telling you, it's not.
I guess
I'm telling you, everybody across the board. Women are crash outs too.
All right, okay, all right, fine. But let's just focus on the men, right? Because it seems like they're in the forefront of this whole shit, right?
They're not.
A lot of platforms will say, "Oh, these men are unemotional. They don't have no emotional intelligence. They need to go to therapy," right? And it's like, all right, go to therapy, or you need to speak to. What would you tell a dude who's not going to go to therapy, right? If you can give him some real world advice right now on the platform, and it's like, all right, now I'm insurance to go to a therapist and all that stuff like that, so I can get some emotional intelligence. What are some things that I could do right in the now to help me out?
Learn from the mistakes of others. Look at your surroundings. Look at that person. If that person walked into that room, he bumped his head on that wall. Don't walk into that room and bump your head on that wall. Don't make the mistakes that you've seen other people make. Like, that's my biggest piece of advice that I could give to somebody. Like, just don't learn from what other people are telling you. You know what I mean? Pay attention, learn.
Most people, that's the thing. I think most dudes that are that are very like quick triggered and like emotions on 10, and they quick on the draw and all that stuff like that. I don't think there's anybody that can speak to that person like that. They may have somebody that's level-headed here or there, but more or less, like, that's the guy in the group that you can't really reason with, in a sense.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
So everybody else in that group should look to get away from him. If they're gonna, we've all had people that we've grown up with that was that person, and self-preservation, which is which I said was the lowest level of when you're constantly in your early teens or in your 20s, if you're going out in the world with somebody and this person is constantly getting you into conflict, your brain should tell you that this is not a good thing, and it's going to escalate, and it's going to end up bad. Maybe I should stop going out in the world with this person.
Another idea that I thought that I have had in my head was that I believe they're trying to kind of like delete or abolish like the real nigga, or they're trying to kind of transform it in a sense.
Well, they're trying to help the real nigga trying to get to why he's a real nigga. Like, yo, maybe you're dealing with like abandonment issues. Maybe your dad left. Maybe you're mad that you saw your mother get abused. Maybe you're mad at something, but you're trying to help that real nigga get through those things that are making him act out. Like, let's get to the root of it. Like, why are you mad at the world? Why are you mad? That's the thing. You think that they're trying to soften up men. No, you think that they're trying to soften up men. That's cool. I think I think they're trying to harden up men. I feel like they're trying to get men,
Really?
ready for the world. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
I kind of think that they're trying to get men ready for, like, stop being so emotional. Stop flying off at the handle for certain, different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think. Are you like? I'm not sure if I agree with that. I get where you're coming from in a sense.
Yeah.
Where, because it's like, all right, well, if you tell a man not to be as emotional, it may resolve conflicts without physical or anything like that, or escalating or anything like that.
It's not about you. He didn't mean to. That accept first of all, it's okay to say my bad. You know what I mean? If you'd made a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's okay to accept that my bad. This person didn't get dressed, put on his clothes, go to that nightclub, and conspire to walk across that room just to step on your shoe. Is not a big conspiracy about this whole thing. That person made a mistake. He said my bad. Let it go. Like, it's just about letting things go in the moment. Like, let's just share this space that we're here with each other. You know what I mean? That's really all it is. And let's show up for our women. Let's not bring that back to our women either. Like, let's not escalate. We should be.
I think some women are attracted to that though.
Well, that's
so, and that I think that's one of the issues.
The bottom of the barrel,
like,
yo.
How
that's
do you,
the bottom of the barrel. The bottom of the barrel.
Not so much, man. Because
yeah, man. If you're attracted to a nigga that's gonna bust a nigga head open for the lowest thing, then you are gonna get your head busted into. And that's why I gave you that analogy.
Not necessarily, right?
Go ahead.
Not necessarily, because you got some of these women that are accomplished, they got things going on, and they've bettered their lives, but they came from the mud too.
Yeah, but that's what emotional intelligence on the women part looks like. Neither. Just
there's no accountability for their
just to know
emotional
man,
intelligence. So.
You don't have to see your man bust a nigga head open in a nightclub to know that he will fight for your honor and protect you if he had to. He doesn't have to prove that shit to you. That's what emotional intelligence looks like for a woman. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You don't constantly have to, because there are women that go out and they start fights for niggas too, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, that's across the board. These are bottom feeders. These are the low level people. And they all
you saying they low level.
Yeah, low level.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but so do you think this is a black thing? You think this goes on more or less in other
thing? This is humans. This is a human thing. There are people who abuse people. There are people who take advantage of people. There are people who are who are not in control of their emotions in every different race. It's a human thing.
Okay, something like that. Yeah. And you see him cry. Y'all watching Lion King, and what's the pop's name?
I'm a crying ass nigga, yo. I'll cry. Any movie. I'll just if I'm if I'm happy, if I'm I don't know, my body just cries. I don't know.
When you're happy,
I cry when I'm happy.
And sad too, though, right?
Yeah. All right. Today, dude from Tony Tone died, right?
Wait, who?
Raphael Sadiq's brother.
Not Dwayne Wiggins, right? The other one.
Yeah, Dwayne Wiggins. Yeah.
He passed away.
Hold on, let me get his correct name. My apologies. I need to get. Yeah, Dwayne Wiggins died.
Oh, he died.
Yeah, today at
Cool.
64. You're right. What happened? Are you trying to wake him up?
Yeah.
He died today. So
Really?
Wow. I had it in my headphones. Like I saw it on the ground. I instantly went to the best of 2020 tone and get started playing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you need, whatever. And I cry a little bit. Like I mean, I shed a little tear. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'll watch a movie. You know what I mean? And I'll just cry. Like I don't like my. It's a running joke. Like you know what I mean? Oh, is that part like dad cry? It's fine. I don't look at myself as being less of a man. Like I think it's perfectly fine. It's part of my emotion. Just the way it works. I don't know.
If you was crying, once a week or some shit like that, I think your wife would have an issue with it.
I probably cry once every 2 days. Nigga.
In front of her?
No, not in front of her, but like to myself. Like I'll be in the car and I'll just be like, if something make me sad, I just cry.
Really?
Yeah, like the fuck. I don't know.
Yo, you like a puzzle, bro. Because I wouldn't expect that. I really wouldn't expect that. So
I got a problem. Nigga, yo, I had to cry when LeBron are losing the finals. I had to cry in front of my friends. I cry, go to sleep, nigga. I cry. I'll be. It became 7. That nigga lose. It'll be at my house. I have a house full of people. I could start crying. I lock myself in the room. I'm going to sleep. Y'all niggas let yourself out. I'll see y'all tomorrow, yo.
Wow.
I can't take it no more, yo.
Wow.
But it's the game, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Another myth. Let me see. I had a couple of myths. Yeah, cool. Getting that good sleep. Let me get another myth here. Being vulnerable makes you weak.
I think I don't know, man. You got to give an example. Like it's
asking for help.
Asking for help?
Yeah.
In like what capacity?
Asking for help from shit. All right. You bought a new barbecue grill and it's in the back of your car. And that shit is heavy. But you see your neighbor on the porch. You gonna ask your neighbor for some help? Or you just gonna freaking risk breaking
I don't think there's nothing wrong with
dragging that thing across. Just the baseline man shit. Like it's asking for a hand.
Nah.
Yo, bro, didn't you give me a hand with this, yo?
Nah.
Yo, it's a little heavy. It was like, oh, you weak ass nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Nah. You know when it's head, he gonna be like, put the bogey out, weak ass nigga. Like I can.
Nah, I wouldn't think that's I think showing like vulnerability if you and this is what's, and maybe it's just me, maybe I'm jaded and I feel
I'm listening.
I feel a way, I might feel this way. Like if you just start talking about all your darkest, deepest secrets and shit, and you put that out there and you're vulnerable with a woman, she, depending on who that woman is, she may look at you like, oh, this thing is a bitch ass nigga.
That's emotional intelligence, knowing enough. Like you can't be too much of an open book, but you could give a little something.
What?
Right?
So she don't gotta have emotional intelligence to see that you're being vulnerable?
You're operating knowing that they're at a different baseline than us. Like same way we're stronger than them, we have more emotional intelligence than them. We just have to accept that. Like we understand that. We've never been in a woman's body, but from everything we know, like everything we've known and we've seen, we can't expect much. Like that barbecue grill that it'll take 2 of men to do, it'll probably take 4 of them. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, we just know. Like I've never been in a woman's body, but from everything I've seen, I can understand that their emotions work a little bit differently. You know what I mean? Like you got a boy and a girl. You can see the different ways that you prepare. You can give news to someone and punish certain people a certain way. You have to approach things differently. You got to be a little bit more diplomatic with certain things. So
for sure,
we know we're not being like sexist when we say that. It's just what we know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
life experience. So yeah.
We got any other myths?
The last myth is work is about. Let me see that. The last one is work is about results and not feelings.
I think that's the difference between men and women, right? And this is why this conversation is so like, because it's like we're taking women ideals and trying to place them on men. If that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I can give you that.
And so when I initially said women and gay men, the way the world is, you kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I think like these ideals are women ideals.
Okay.
And come from a new age, 2020, whatever. And we live in a more fluid society, right? And I think that's where that comes from. So when like, yeah, for men, for most men, and generally speaking, right? It's more results driven, because a man is probably more prone to leave if he's gonna get more money or whatever. He don't care like, oh yeah, I work with you for 5 years. Nah, they about to pay me more bread. I'm going over there, right? I'm not saying women won't do that either, but women are more like, yo, I like working here. I've been here.
If they do that, they're showing like a masculine trait. If women are constantly leaving jobs and climbing the ladder looking for money, they're looked at more of a masculine woman.
That's what they're looked at, yeah.
Right. So yeah. But is that a wrong thing to do? Like, is that's okay, right? Should you be happy at work? Or should you be miserable? Like, if you're miserable, should you just? A lot of people are just like, yo, I have to provide for my family, no matter how miserable I am. Should you be considering your day-to-day?
I really feel at this point in my life,
for your family,
at this point in my life, right? And we're talking about me being to the point where I was working a minimum of 12 hours a day at one point, right? And I thought that was the wave, and I'm grinding it out. I'm doing all the work, whatever, right? But what are you trying to, people will use the excuse, I'm trying to provide for my family or whatever, that's that and the third. But it's not just about working and trying to get money or whatever. It is, you work just probably just as much as you're with your family and shit like that. You working 8 to 10, 12 hours a day. How much time you spending? You got to sleep, and how much time you spending with your family, right? So you should enjoy where you work. You know what I mean? So, but people would be like, nah, I'm taking this other bread or whatever. I don't care because I got to take care of my family. Nah, you was taking care of your family at the other job. You just want to, you want some more. You want some extra. You want to have more money for whatever reason you choose, right? But you made that decision. But you can provide for your family where you at in a good environment.
You got 2 kids. You got 1 kid going to college and 1 kid in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should be busting your ass. There's a time to turn it on and turn it off, right?
You might be already busting your ass. This is what I'm trying to say. But
yeah, but you should kick it into that extra gear if you have it.
Either way, what I'm saying is that if I'm at a job where I got my kids in college and one going to college or whatever, and I'm handling that, and I like the environment that I work at, I'm not going to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go take this other job that I don't know for extra 10 grand or something, or 15 grand or something. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think it's a man or a woman thing or whatever. I think it's like, that's a human thing. I think it should be.
Yeah.
But men are more results driven, and they're more about the numbers and the environment.
Right. Yeah. And those are the myths that I have. You have any final words on EQ, emotional intelligence? Do you still think it's fake? Do you see like a real place for it in the world? Like,
well, I think us having Cigars and Whiskey Podcast, we express ourselves on a weekly basis, right? So, are we emotionally intelligent, or is it about what you're giving? That's another thing I want to know.
Well, let's talk about like our friendship. Like, I feel like we're too highly emotionally intelligent. We don't really.
But what I'm saying is that
argue or have any kind of like conflict, because like either will like, if I feel like you're passionate about something, I'll let you have it, as well as you will with me, and then we know our strong suits. Because if I know like this is your wheelhouse, take it. You know what I mean? So with men and in friendships, there's ego. You know, there's certain things. There's yeah, I feel like ego may be one of the main things. You know what I mean? Person wanted to be the main character or be that main person or be the person that want to call the shots. So yeah, I feel like people are most intelligent.
But the thing is, we could be sitting on this. What I was saying, what I meant to say is like, all right, we're on this platform, right? And let's just say we're expressing ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. We're expressing how we feel about certain things, certain topics, and things like that. But if someone doesn't agree with what I'm saying, they could just deem me as like, oh, he has low emotional intelligence. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm being expressive, right?
Yeah.
And if I don't rub somebody the right way or I rub somebody the wrong way, they could just deem me that way. Because is it about the message, right? Is it like, because you can't ask me as a man to be expressive and vulnerable, but then you don't like the way I'm being that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's why, like, I feel like it's semi like a rat trap where it's like, yeah, we want you to be this way, whatever, this, that, and the third. And it's like,
well, that's
all right,
the
I'm
one
coming.
flaw about this whole conversation, that it is subjective. It's different for everybody. Everybody's level of emotional intelligence or how they deem it or the bar that they look at it at, is different. You know, some people are probably hear the conversation was like, nah, if that dude step on your foot, you supposed to stomp a mud hole through this nigga's face. Like, you supposed to kill that nigga. Like, that's the most intelligent, because you can't let nobody do that to you. And if like, they'll have their own justification, but when I say learning from other people, it's like, yo, it doesn't really work out well.
It doesn't. This you understand this from my perspective. This has no real like metric of, you know what I mean?
It's subjective.
because it's very subjective, right?
Yeah.
I could be a fucking a deep ass poet or whatever, but I cheat on my wife and I slap the shit out of her. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I could be expressive or I could be a little bit deep or something like that, or fake deep, but I might do other stuff.
Right.
That's not,
Yeah.
So how we judging, right?
Well, that's where the accountability comes in. When you look at you after you went from a whole night of telling poetry, smacking your wife, and doing all that next morning when you're brushing your teeth in the mirror and you're looking at yourself, who are you looking at? Like, who do
so
you think?
You would be emotional intelligent if you say, yo, you know what? I shouldn't have smacked the shit out of my wife and I shouldn't have cheated on her. But yo, those poems I said was deep as shit or whatever. I express myself the right way.
If I'm going to do better, if I tell myself that I'm going to do better and you're on the road, you know what I mean? But I don't think that, that's functioning at a high level. You just faking it.
All right. So, yeah, people out there, man, give me some understanding. Maybe I'm off. GB's on and I'm off.
I think we made a breakthrough today. I think we made a breakthrough.
I feel like this is a moving plank where you never be able to step on it and really get any footing on it.
It's subjective, dog. It's all in you. It's all in, like, it's just you.
It's not really all in you. It's based on the person that's sort of semi-judging you in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Because it's up to you to show your emotional intelligence, and if that person, like, if their metrics or their ideals of what it is don't link up with who you are
or society
they can be like, nah, he's not.
Yeah.
You could think you the most emotionally intelligent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
the jails is the perfect place. The jails are full of people with low emotional intelligence. Like, they're right there.
It's a dude in jail right now that's crying and saying, I don't want to be here. He's expressive and like, I did wrong and this, that, and the third. He know that.
Right.
He might have some emotional intelligence.
Well, his emotional intelligence would tell him that he has to pay for his crime.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? So he would understand why he's there. He could be mad that he's there, but he would understand, yo, I got caught, whatever, boom. I harm people or aggrieve people, and I'm here. Let me make the best of this time.
All right, so we're gonna put a cherry on top,
Right.
but let's talk about just put it to end up the thing. Advice to a man in a relationship to show emotional intelligence in the relationship.
I got one just general, just, and this goes to men and women. I mean,
Okay.
I'm gonna give
All right.
some for both of them. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. Pick everything isn't a everything isn't a you don't have to bring everything up. You don't have to bottle everything up either, but everything doesn't have to be a argument. If you know something's a soft spot for somebody, or something could be a trigger for somebody, maybe just leave it alone and think of a better time to bring it up. Maybe your emotions in that moment that this thing is happening is too high. And if you really want to make a breakthrough with the conversation that you're going to have, maybe you should do it in the morning. Maybe you should do it the next night at dinner. Maybe you should do it next week. You know what I mean? But pick your battles and choose your battles strategically.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I got. How about yourself? You got anything?
Well, I think personally, like I think certain things that I do that I might have, if we're going to use the word, I may have low emotional intelligence, is that I don't communicate.
Okay.
Right. So if I have a problem with something, and I may automatically just feel like you're not going to receive if I have a grievance with something, it's not going to be received well. With like, all right, yo, you know what? Oh, you feel this way? All right, I'll see what I could do about it, fix it, whatever. So I kind of do the nonverbal, and I don't express and speak about the issues that I have. And
So when you say you don't express it verbally, but do you express it physically? Like, are you quiet? Are you distant? Are you mad and just like not just talking? Are you giving a silent treatment?
That's
that's counterproductive. Like that's
that's
no,
low in emotional intelligence, right?
passive aggressive.
I'm not aggressive.
Passive.
I'm just very passive.
Yeah.
And all right,
You're passive. You're passively aggressive when you're doing that.
I guess so. Yeah, yeah. So maybe I feel like advice that I would give to people is that communication, man. Even if you have a grievance and you feel like your significant other may not receive it, maybe work on your delivery. And it's better that you give it with a different delivery than not say it at all and keep it to yourself.
No, well, especially if you're just gonna wear it. Like if you're just gonna not say it, but just put on the bubble coat of, you know what I mean? I'm upset right now. You put the I'm upset bubble coat and just sit in the living room with that coat on. Well, like, yo, why did Dad have the coat on? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like he got that coat on, you know what I mean? And it's just like he's just sitting in the living room with a coat on. So you might as well just, you know what I mean? I don't know how to. You don't want, because it's like, all right, would you think it'll help to be like, maybe like, yo, this kind of bothered me, but like I don't want it to ruin the night, so let's talk about it tomorrow. Like, would that be crazy?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Yeah. Maybe like put a pin in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The crazy thing about it is sometimes I'm not communicating based off of somebody else's, my significant other's grievance, because I might feel like it's not valid like that, right? We might have an argument, and I'd be like, all right, we're not going to continue to debate it and argue it. But I don't think you're right. You don't think I'm right. But all right. We're not. The night is kind of fucked up. Maybe the next couple of days is fucked up. But it's not normally like now. If I had a grievance or whatever, I might be like, whatever, ain't no big deal. I'll keep it moving. We don't got to argue about it. But if I feel like there's a complaint
that's brought to you,
that's brought to me about something, and I'd be like, I might debate it. And that's another thing that I would. That's another thing of advice that I would, slate of advice that I would give to people. Don't just listen just to debate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, like, especially as men, because as much as you may think you right, and this might sound like a sort of defeatist type of attitude as a husband. It's like, certain battles you're just not gonna win. Like, it's like, all right, yeah, all right, okay, all right, cool, whatever, man. You know what I mean?
You're fighting against how are you gonna fight against feelings? How are you gonna fight against what someone felt?
Yeah,
you can't measure that.
You can't measure it. Yeah.
So it's like you can't. All you could do is be like, damn, I didn't mean it like that, but if you took it like that, my bad. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that's enough to like keep it moving. But like a little time is cool. Like a little time, like, yo, maybe we not watch the movie together tonight. I'm going out there.
That's not good for everybody though. That's not.
I'm out. Are you mad?
That's not good for everybody.
Nigga,
like
PlayStation getting cut off.
You know,
nigga.
the thing is, like let's say the way of the superior man, it says like, even when your significant other, your spouse is like mad or something like that, you should kind of like give her a hug or give her a kiss, and you know what I mean. Even if you feel like you might be feeling like fuck you too, you know what I mean. But yeah, so yeah, man. So all right. So I think we can wrap it up on that, man.
I got one story here.
Okay.
One story here that it was Nelly and his longtime girlfriend, Chantel Jackson. There was news that she had did like an article, and she had did like a little interview. I'm gonna go off the top of my head, and she said that they kind of broke up. They needed some time apart, so she kind of like took a break, and she initiated them taking a break. And then all of a sudden, he ends up married to Ashanti with a baby, and she was looking like she could kind of play herself. And it's like I kind of want like, what do you feel about like taking breaks in long-term relationships?
That's the risk you take,
right? Yeah.
Why does she want to take a break?
I can't call it. I can't find the article. I'm just kind of going off the head. But,
when people want to take breaks, they either want to break up with the person, or they want to fuck with somebody else, or they already fucking with somebody else.
Like there's such thing as break babies. Like people have babies on breaks. Like it's like a real thing.
That normally the person that has the break baby is the one that initiates the break, right? That part. So it's odd to me that she was the one that initiated it, and he was the one that moved on. And I don't think it's I don't think it's up to him, because she's the one that wanted it.
Right.
So, hey, that's the risk you take. Like, you break up with your chick and somebody else start hitting it because you want to play, or you don't really want to be with her like that.
Yeah.
You want to take some time to yourself. Like, yo, she could get popped off by somebody else. So it is what it is, man. That's the risk you take.
Tough breaks, yo.
Yeah.
I can't find the article, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's Cigars and Whiskey for this week, man.
All right. How are we feeling about this, man?
It's cool. Not a world beater. It's not the best whiskey in the world, but it's a nice Friday night. It's cool.
I like this, man.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I do.
What sets it apart from other whiskeys?
I think it has a few different flavors going, man. Like, but it's, I haven't really drunk eaten any sugar or anything like that this week, so maybe I don't know. Maybe it's hitting for me like that.
It's just like a Twinkie to you right now.
Maybe.
What's the price point on it?
This is about $40. I think 40 or $45.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So it's a little bit more than like a Jameson.
Yeah, a little bit more. I feel bourbons in general are probably the cheapest whiskey you can get.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe some Canadians, but Scotches and Irish. Well, Irish is the cheap too, but bourbon, you can get a good bourbon for $40,
Gotcha.
$50. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like this one, man. A lot of good notes. Cream brulee. You do get that spice, caramel, dark chocolate, vanilla bean. Yeah, man. So, guys, let us know how you guys felt about Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey. This one is produced in Washington State, right over on the West Coast,
up
right?
top.
Yeah. So let us know. Let us know if you had it. Let us know if you liked it as much as I liked it. Yeah, man. And please hit us up and let us know which whiskey we should have on the show in the coming weeks, man. If you don't follow us on Instagram, please do at Cigars Whiskey. That's Cigars with an S, Whiskey. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Cigars the Ensign Whiskey Podcast. Again, Cigars the Ensign Whiskey Podcast. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Also, hit the bell for notifications so you know when we have new content coming out. All right. And with that, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Cigars and Whiskey Podcast. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.